According to a June 2026 article discussing a bipartisan bill in Congress, lawmakers are beginning to view gambling addiction as something much bigger than an individual problem. They're looking at it as a public health issue. And I think that's an important shift. Because for years, too many people have been told that if they just had more self-control, they could stop gambling. But gambling addiction is far more complicated than that. The proposed legislation would direct the Department of Health and Human Services to study gambling disorder in much greater depth. That includes the causes of gambling addiction, the risk factors, its long-term effects, ways to prevent it, how to improve treatment, and what policies might reduce gambling-related harm. One statistic in the article absolutely jumped off the page. According to the article, legal sports betting grew from about 4.7 billion in 2018 to roughly 220 billion in 2024. Think about that for a moment. That isn't just growth. That's an increase of about 4,581%. In other words, legal sports betting became nearly 47 times larger in just 6 years. Those numbers are incredible. When something grows that rapidly, it's reasonable to ask what impact it's having on individuals, families, and communities. The bill also proposes using 10% of the federal excise tax collected from legal gambling to fund this study for up to 3 fiscal years. I think that's a positive start. The more we understand gambling addiction, the better equipped we'll be to prevent it and help people recover. Personally, I'll be very interested to see what this study finds if it moves forward. And if the evidence shows that gambling-related harm has grown alongside this massive increase in gambling activity, I think it's worth having a conversation about whether more than 10% of that federal excise tax should eventually be directed toward treatment, prevention, education, and recovery services. After all, if gambling is generating hundreds of billions of dollars in wagers, it makes sense that meaningful resources should also be dedicated to helping the people whose lives have been affected by it. Now, it's important to remember that this is proposed legislation. Nothing has become law yet. But I find it encouraging that Congress is at least having this conversation. The more we understand gambling addiction through research instead of stigma, the better chance we have of helping people reclaim their lives. If you found this video helpful, give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing. See you in the next video. Stronger every day.